Okay, so are you guys ready now to continue our discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about the others? So again, you guys can eat while listening. Okay, so I won't be able to see you guys anyway. So you can do whatever you want. Okay, as long as you're listening uh, carefully and you're really trying to understand what I'm trying to say here. All right, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's now move on to the question. Sample problem number 2. Okay, so in here, maybe someone chat message. All right, okay, so in here, it is asking us to write a program that inputs two integer numbers. Thereafter, the program should determine if these two integer numbers are equivalent. So if they are equivalent, use a message box to display the word equivalent. Okay. So in here, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 components, 2 labels, 2 text box, and then 1 button. All right, so this one is super simple. So what I'll do is I'll retain, I'll just remove that one. So I'll retain this one since we need 2 labels. So I'll just Control C and then Control V. So yeah, you can copy and paste your components in here. So copy again and then Control V. Okay. So input a number. Let me just change this one into input another number. There we go. So we have text box 1 and then text box 2. So how will you know which one is text box 1, which one is text box 2? So again, just click that certain text box and then just go to the properties and then you will see this text box right here. Okay. So the name of this one is text box 1 and the name of this one is text box 2. So just in case you have interchanged those two, wherein text box 2 is the first one and then text box 1 is the second one. Okay, so you can know or you will see the name right here. All right. And then I will not change this one anymore. So I'll just retain it as verify since we're going to verify whether the first number is equal to the second number. So the second thing that we need to do is double click this button. Okay, and then again, it will lead you to this coding section. So in here, instead of declaring one variable, so we need to declare two variables now since we have two inputs. So let's just say that that is variable x and variable y. So dim x comma y as integer. Okay. And then the next thing that we need to do is, where are the values of x and y will be coming from. So for the x, it would be the text box 1. For the y, it would be the text box 2. So x is equal to text box 1, the text, and then y is equal to text box 2, the text. All right. So again, what's happening here is whatever is a value of your text box 1 will be passed to our variable x. The same with text box 2. Whatever is a value of this one, it will be passed to our variable y. So I'm just simply passing the value of those text boxes to our declared variables, right? So this is now where the if condition will come to play. So if x is equal to y, then message box, closing up parenthesis, double apostrophe, equivalent. Okay. So let's see if this one is really working. So let's say 1, 1. Okay, so if I click verify, it should give us a message equivalent. Okay, so as you guys can see, this message box pops out and it says equivalent. Now, what if they are not equal? So what do you guys think will happen? 1 is not equal to 10. What will happen? Anyone? Who can guess on what will happen with this one if we have this kind of code? So 1 is definitely not equal to 10. So anyone, any guess? Hello, guys. You guys still there? So coming from Miss Rochelle, so nothing or error, sir. So actually, the correct one is nothing. Okay, so I keep on mentioning that one also, wherein if this one is false, nothing will happen. So as you guys can see, nothing will happen since we didn't program this, this button to do something if it detected that the condition were false. However, we can of course add another code. Okay, wherein if x is not equal to y, so not equal is symbolizes by the greater than less than. Okay, if x is not equal to y, then message box not equivalent. Okay, so in that case, if x is equal to y, then we have this first scenario. Okay, however, if x is not equal to y, then we have this scenario wherein it will display not equivalent. So 5 is of course equivalent, but 5 and then 15 is not equivalent. All right. So are we clear with this one so far?
Yes, sir.
So the only time that this will give you an error, okay, if you don't if you didn't put any value to your text boxes. Okay, so if I click verify, it will force close and then it will give you an error. Why? That is because you're trying to pass a blank value to our variable y, wherein again, if it cannot pass anything or if it cannot give anything, it will give you an error. So it must have a value. All right. So in this case, we have some catch errors. We actually have some code for this one wherein it will give you some, warnings. Well, you are also the one who's going to create that one. But for now, you don't need to worry those. Those are for, uh, mostly a completed version of applications. But since this one is just, for the sake of learning on how to program things, then you don't need to include those uh, handling errors for now. So if we can reach that one, then yeah, we will try to handle some errors. Okay, if we have some kind of scenario, or situation. All right. So are we clear so far regarding with sample problem number 2? Are we clear, guys? Were you guys able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Degeo are actually speaking, but I'm not hearing anything. Are you guys hearing anything that Mr. or Miss Degeo is speaking? Could you please speak, Mr. Begeo? Mr. or Miss Begeo?
Miss, sir.
Wala akong naririnig. How about the others? Can you guys hear something
Yes,
other
sir.
than my voice? Maybe the mic of Mr. or Miss Begeo is not working. Or my speaker is not working. None, sir. So none daw. Oh, meron naman daw coming from Jelo. So she said that she can hear something. I don't know. See? Miss. Because I cannot see the following name. So, Bigeo Reza, Rezabel pala yun. So, Miss. All right, so sorry for that, Miss Abigail. Anyway, I guess my speaker, okay, is not working again properly, maybe. Anyway, so any questions so far regarding with sample problem number 2 before we proceed to the next one? Question or clarification? Okay, so none coming from Miss Miguel. All right, so let's proceed to the next one. So sample problem number 3 and number 4 will be your third and fourth quiz. All right, so I have already posted this one on our canvas. So sample problem number 3 will again, will be found on week 5, module 8. So third quiz and then fourth quiz. Okay, so just wait a second. All right, so in your third quiz, so the same, of course, with your sample problem number 3. It's just that in here, I've added the things that you will do, okay? Wherein there's only one input and then I need two outputs. Okay, so listen carefully on what are those two outputs. All right, so let me read this one for now. So the ABC Manufacturing Company plans to give a year-end bonus to each of its employees. So write a program that will compute the bonus of an employee by considering the following criteria. So the first criteria is if the employee's monthly salary is less than 10,000 pesos, the bonus is 25% of the salary. So let's say we have a salary of 9,000. Okay. So the bonus of that employee is just a 25% of 9,000. So let me use my calculator. So 9,000 times 0.25. So the bonus of that employee is 2,250. So this will be, sobrang last ng earphone ko. There you go. Okay. So this will be your first output. All right. So I need you guys to display in one text box that the bonus of that employee, if he has a salary of 9,000, will be 2,250. And then the other output will be the combination of his or her salary plus the bonus. So 2,250 plus 9,000. So this will be your second output. Okay, first output will be just the computation of the bonus. Second output will be the combination of the uh, bonus and then the salary of that employee. All right, so are we clear with that one? So those are the two outputs for the sample problem number 3. Hello guys, you guys still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the second criteria, if the salary of that person is 10,000 and above, okay, then he'll get a fixed bonus. Okay, it will always be 2,500. So let's say that he has a salary of 20,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. He will still receive 2,500. So again, this will be your first input, and then the second, I mean, first output, not first input. So this will be your first output. Okay, and then the second output will be the combination of the salary of that person. So let's say he has a salary of 30,000 plus 2,500 will be 32,500 as your second output. All right. So those are my requirements for the third quiz. And for the fourth quiz, So write a program that will allow user to input an integer, take note, integer whole number only, and determine and display if the integer entered is an even number. Okay, so in here, I only need one requirement. So one input, one output. So if I put an even number, let's say 2, it should give me a display of a message box saying that it is an even number. But if I put there, let's say 1 or 3 or 5, then it will do nothing. Okay, so as simple as that. Well, we can add another statement or another if statement wherein if it's add, then it will display add number. Well, that would be better. Okay, so my only minimum requirement is I should see a display of even number if I input an even number. All right. So are we clear so far regarding with your sample, quiz number 3 and quiz number 4? No, guys? Are we clear or no?
Hindi. Sorry.
No, guys? You guys still there?
Yes, sir.
My speaker isn't really working properly. I can see that most of you are already speaking, but I am not hearing anything. Anyway, so I would like you guys to use your chat box for now to respond if it's okay, or just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I think that one is a lot easier. Yeah, I've heard a chicken. Why am I hearing a chicken but I cannot hear your voice? Anyway, all right. So, okay, so I'll mute. Hello, Miss Lulay.
Ano daw? Sir.
Ayan, so naririnig na kita. So I'll mute you for now, okay? Since we are hearing, ano bang tawag doon? Well, chicken alarm clock. So I don't know how to call that one in English. Anyway, so let's proceed to the next one. So sample problem number 5. So in here, in temperature countries like Japan, there are 4 seasons. So April to June is spring, July to September is summer, October to December is autumn, and January to March is winter. So in here, it is asking us to, we wish to write a program that allows the user to select a date using datetime pickers. Datetime picker is a component that we can find or we can find on the Visual Studio. So the output of the program is a season associated with that month and a picture of the season. So we have here the sample pictures, and we have here the numbers, wherein 4 is April, May is 5, and then June is 6. So the same with July, July 7, August is 8, and then September is 9, and so on and so forth. So October, December is autumn, January to March is winter. All right, so we have here the given codes already. So this is the working code wherein this is the output of this code. Wherein we have the datetime picker, a label, which is name date, and then a picture box. So as you guys can see right here, if you change the month into July, it will, or the picture box will change to its accordance with its season, wherein 4 to 6, okay, is spring, and then 7 to 9 is summer, 10 to 12 is autumn, and then 1 to 3 is winter. Okay, so those numbers are equivalent in months, which is this one. Okay, and then M right here is the variable wherein it is where we're going to store the value of the month of this date time picker. All right, so without a further delay, let's try to do this one. Just erase everything. So to make our life easier, I'll just copy this one and then modify. Okay, since we don't have that much enough time to do this one step by step or manually. So of course we will have a lot of errors since this one is already a modified code. So by default, uh, we have to change those namings. Okay, so for now, let's put the components that we need. So we need a label for the date, and then we need a date time picker. So just type date time picker, and then we need picture box. All right, so let me just make this one bigger and change the sizes of those two components into a bigger font size, into 25. So this one is date. And then for the daytime picker, so we will not change anything. I'll just make this one a little bit more bigger. All right. And yeah, so the thing that you need to do is you have to double click this one because this is the one that we're trying to program. So double click, and then it will lead you to this private sub date time picker one value change. Okay. So what we need to do is put that inside of our function date time picker. And in here, so where is our declared variable? It's right here. Why is it outside? All right. So first we have declared m as an integer, wherein that is where we're going to pass the value of the date time picker. So if we chose 1, then the value of this one now is, I mean, if we chose January, then the value of this one now is 1, wherein it will be simply passed to our variable m. I don't know if you guys can see this one. There you go. All right. And as you guys can see, this one is having an error because he cannot find DTP1. Because by default, the name of our datetime picker is datetime picker 1, okay, not DTP1. So if you want to retain the namings, which is DTP1, PB1, okay, you can actually change the name of this one also. Okay, just look for the name, okay, name right here, and then change this into DTP1. Right, and going back here, you don't have any error anymore because your program can now find the component DTP1, right? But in my case, I'll just retain it, okay, or I'll just use the default name of my datetime picker. So I'll bring this one back to its original name, datetime picker 1. And then of course we have to change this. Oops. So that is one good thing that the VB can do. So once it detects the name of that component, and then if you change the name of that one in here, it will be changed accordingly with your code. So before this one is DTP1, but since I've changed it in here into datetime picker 1, then it also changes one into datetime picker 1, right? And then another thing is right here, so PB1. So this PB1 is actually the picture box, okay? Wherein if you're going to analyze this one, if 4 is less than or equal to m, and m is less than or equal to 6, so it's basically between 4 to 6, okay, 4, 5, and 6, then pb1.image is equal to image.from file spring.jpg. So what this one is trying to do is if this is true, then this will be initiated. Okay, so if you saw an equal sign, meaning it is trying to pass something, wherein it has a value of image that from file spring.jpg, it will be shown to our picture box. All right, so that's what's happening on this code. Okay, so the same with the second, third, and fourth. So just depend on the month that you chose. Okay, if it's 7, then it will show summer. If it's 12, then it will show autumn. If it's 2, it will show winter. Right? So in here, we have to change this PB1 into picture box 1 because the name of your picture box is picture box 1, not PB1. So picture box 1. So as you guys can see, while we are typing a name, so this is also one good thing about Visual Studio. It has an IntelliSense wherein it can detect that you want to type something or you want to come up with something. So in here, he's recommending to choose one of this. So the blue one is the component that we can find on the design. And then the rest are the things that, maybe it's a function, it's a setting, it's a configuration, etc. So there's a lot of things that you can do there. But for now, just look for the blue one, this one right here. So that is an indicator that that is a component that you're looking for. So the name of that picture box is picture box one. And then hit space. All right. And then we have to remove this one, remove the underscore to remove the error. So I'll just copy this one to the rest of TB1. Remove this one. Don't need to double them. Just one then is enough. Oops. Remove this one. Then picture box on that image. And yeah, as you guys can see, we don't have an error anymore. Okay. So everything is okay now. However, it will not show us anything. Okay, because I don't have the spring.jpg onto the folder of my program. So in my case, I have saved it, or yeah, I have stored it on my pictures. Okay, so in this case, I have to remove this one. Okay, we'll just remove that one later. But for now, the thing that you need to do is get the address of that image or that spring.jpg. So again, in my case, it's on the pictures. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, we have the autumn, we have the spring, we have the summer, and then we have the winter. All right. So the one thing that we need to get is spring. Where is that? There you go. So spring right here. So the thing that you need to do is get the exact location of this image. So right click and then go to the properties and then look for the location. And then you need to highlight the location for the address of that one. So it's on the C, local DC, folder users, folder Ryzen 5, folder pictures. And so we'll stop here for now. Okay, so just add that one. Just copy that one and then paste it on our code. There you go. So this is just the exact location of that certain picture. So the one thing that we need to add is the name of that picture. Okay, the name and then the extension. So in here, the name of this picture is spring, and then the extension or the type of file of this picture is JPG. So in here, we have to type spring.jpg. So if it's PNG, then type .png. If it's GIF, then type .gif. But in here, since it's JPG, then we have to put here JPG. So spring.jpg. So don't forget the slash thing, the backslash thing. Okay, so this is an indicator that this is the last one. Okay, so you don't need to add a slash anymore since this is already the last one. Okay, folder users, folder Ryzen 5, folder pictures, and then the name of that picture. And since they are inside of one folder, okay, they are inside of pictures folder. So just copy everything. Copy, copy, paste, and then paste. And then right here, of course, we have to change the spring. What is the next one? 7 to 9. I don't know what's next. 7 to 9 is summer. Summer. And then this one is autumn. Then the next one is winter. So just check the names of your pictures. So in my case, as simple as that. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. Okay. Autumn, spring, summer, winter. So if you have a name wherein everything is capital, then you have to change this one into all capital also. So you have to strictly follow the capitalization of that one, right? So now we are good. Okay, so this is it for the example problem number 5. All right, so let's try whether this one's really working or no. Start. Okay, just wait for 3 seconds or 5 seconds. There you go. So initially, it will not show anything. So it will only show once you've changed the date or month. Okay, so there you go. So as you guys can see, the one problem, okay, that you can see right here is it didn't fit to our picture box properly. So we need to change the viewing of this one or the size mode of this one. So by default, so it has a size mode of normal. So just click this, play a mini play button on the upper right of this picture box. And then this will pop out, picture box test. So change the size mode from normal into stretch image, right? And then there you go. That's all right. It will, the picture, whatever is the size of it, it will fit perfectly to our picture box. Okay. So there you go. So we now have here spring, summer, autumn, and winter. All right. So were you guys able to follow so far? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How about the others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So at least some of you are now responding. Okay. So if we are now clear with sample problem number 5, then let's now proceed to the next one. Okay. So we have here another syntax for if statements. So before, we only have one condition and then one statement. But actually, you can have one condition and then you can have as many statements you want. Okay. So if you are going to go back with our code, so as you can see, it only starts with if and then. So there's no ending point. But in here, we now have the word and if. So you have to use the word and if, or you have to end this one, okay, if you now have, let's say, 2 or more arguments or statements. But if you only have one statement, then I think it's okay. So it will not give you any error. However, if you now have 2 or more statements, then that's time that you have to end that one now, okay, with end if. All right. So it's not only limited to 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can have how many statements that you want to put in there, as long as your computer can manage the task that it needs to do. All right. So let's have an example. Okay. So again, you don't need to know the inputs and outputs of this one. It's just that I would like to show that if this is true, it can initiate 3 statements step by step. So of course, this one first after maybe millisecond, followed by the second after millisecond, and then followed by the third one. All right. So it's not only limited to 3. You can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 30. Right. So if this is false, of course, again, nothing will happen since we didn't program this one to do something if the condition is false. All right. So in here, this is now where you can put another code wherein if the condition is false, okay, then this code, false codes right here will be initiated. So before we only have true statement, I mean true condition, true statement. But right now, if we have false condition, we now also have false statement. All right. So again, you can put here 5 true codes or 10 false codes. So it's not limited to one only. Right? So again, there's an additional one, which is the word else. So yeah, you have to add this one, meaning if this one is not true, then it's false. This one will be initiated. As simple as that. All right, so were you guys able to follow so far? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we will stop here for now since we don't have enough time anymore. So we will just continue the rest on part 3. All right, so goodbye.